Hey, what's up all you basement dwellers? Tickle My Shoes here, aka Fluffalole, also known as the Hecate King when I play games such as EVE Online. Today we're going over the Federation Grand Prix. You're gonna see famous monuments in this Grand Prix, and if you are a newer player or a returning player or even a long-time player, it will take you through sections like null sec and low sec, so there is danger when it comes to doing this. There is no right or wrong to the fit that you use, but I'm going to throw mine up on the side of the screen right now. Boop, so you guys can see right there that I'm just using a basic cloaking device, but I have huge shield buffer. I don't have as much align time and as AU time as I'm just doing the Federation event part, but you can see that I can withstand about 4 to 5 serious smart bombs when I have the compact multi-spectrum shields overheated. So remembering you guys that when you go and do this event, which I always like, is a fun one because it's just a relaxing one minus the guys that will smart bomb the effing crap out of you when you're not paying attention. So take into consideration these notes, you guys, that when you enter low sec and null sec systems that you should be warping to some kind of ping so that you can get a D-scan of the gate. Now, when it comes to the stats of this ship, I can quickly show you guys right here, but first we have to get to the station. Quick, Loot Fairy, take us to the station. Alright, perfect. Thanks, Loot Fairy. So as you guys can see, as I was saying before, that the stats are pretty decent. Seems to be smart bombing battleships and people on gates and in the null and low sec areas trying to interact and mess with the people that are doing the Federation Grand Prix. But that is expected when it comes to EVE Online, for things like that are encouraged to mess with other players, as this is our world, our sandbox, so we can do as we wish. So if we go like this and we heat up these invols like that, we get some high stats. We still are the weakest to the EM, but with all in all, I have tested this and I can withstand like 4 to 5 serious smart bombs. I've been through a few gates just ramrodding around so that I could see if it would withstand some of the beating. I have not lost one yet, so that I know that it is pretty solid, but there is no right or wrong, you guys, to the style of interceptor ship that you would build, whether you are a new player using the expert systems that CCP has granted to you. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll throw it up on the screen right now. So as you guys can see right there on the screen, the Grand Prix Interceptors. This one was granted to us. It lasts 4 days once activated. These do expire, so it's best to eat them even if you don't really need it, because what can you do when it expires? You can't even use it. The other ones that you would buy, they last 7 days, so they are pretty good for like a couple bucks. You can just wind down and grab one. I will show them there in a second, but as you can see, that's the Grand Prix Interceptors Expert Systems, and you guys can see right there and go over it if you need to yourself in game. And you can see right here, these are the ships that it'll allow you to fly right there, and all of the skills that it will give are every single frigate level 5 and interceptor level 5. As you can see on this account, I don't have Minotaur or Caldari level 5 or interceptors at all, as he is small gang PvP. So you guys can see right here that with this patch comes the release of the expert systems. I do know that there's a lot of dislike when it comes to the expert systems, saying that it's kind of like a money grab and stuff like that. But as I am a true EVE Online player and I have grinded my Omega accounts countless times, that it just grieves me that when you look at this right here, and as you can see that for a couple bucks for a week you could become an maxed out explorer for whichever race that you are, because if you are an alpha pilot you will be restricted to some things. So that's why I can see it's race based. They do have the core ship one, I guess, if you wanted to do combat, and then down here they do have the mining one. So some people might hate on this, you guys, but in actual hindsight to the long endeavor of the game, EVE Online, to use the best things in the game, costs a subscription of Omega. Not everyone in the world that likes to play games has the funds to be able to do that. So for a few dollars to be able to hop in and have the ability to fly the ships that you would like to fly and be able to grind out your Omega by earning the in-game ISK seems pretty plausible.
A few moments later.
Okay, so that's basically a new thing from CCP. For a short time, you can buy the skills needed to fly certain things, but as the beginning of the event, they're giving it out to people for free so that you could see what it is like. So even a newer player, if he has the IS, can come on down and enjoy the Federation race day as one of the fastest interceptors. Also, remember, you guys, I'm going to throw up the accelerator on the screen so that when you get these, make sure that you consume those right away as they do have an expiration date, but they will allow you to have 10% more velocity. But make sure that you pay attention to which ones they are, for there is two of them, as I'm going to throw both of them up on the screen right now. Okay, so you guys can see those. One gives you a velocity modifier, the other one will give you faster warp speed. So that's pretty good. So one you would want to actually use for like really fast part, like probably setting time trials. So another part of the Federation race day, you guys, and I will leave a link down in the description below for the forums. You can also find this exact same link on CCP's page, or make sure to go check out the daily news when it comes out of the scope that keeps us updated to the things that are happening in EVE Online. So all in all, that's pretty much the build that I'm running to do the actual Federation date. Now, I've done it already on my other characters, so when I open up the agency right here, you guys, you can see that the Federation Grand Prix is right here. Now, for a lot of players, I've been seeing that they're having a lot of trouble if you're a newer player trying to figure out where to go. So what you're going to do is you warp to Luminaire, which is this system right here, as I can show you right here. Luminaire, take yourself there. And then on your overview, you will see it'll say Federation start line. If you want to start the race, you have to head there. Now, once the race has started, the second part, you see on the abbreviations here to what they're talking about when they describe to you the monuments and where you're headed and why these monuments exist in EVE Online. This word right here is a highlighted word. You can right click it, set destination, and boom, you're off to the races. Alright, so when it comes to the rewards, you guys, we can see that we get the usual fireworks crate, but we're going to get some sweet Luminaire skins. A lot of people may not like these skins, as I've heard some people do not like them, but me, I've always had a fascination for these skins because they are pretty nice and fancy. But remember, I do only have my graphics card set down to medium as I'm running some other things in the background, but still this is pretty spicy. If you guys don't know what the Luminaire skins are, what they do is they pretty much are like a version of a really clean skin, and they have a really high sheen to it. But these are some pretty nice skins. So you can see you got the Drake there, the Stabber. These are all ships that people would use. So you got the Omen Navy issue. Beautiful, beautiful. That's a nice one for the old Amarians. The Griffin Navy. Nice, nice. Now because they gave me this skin, I'm gonna use the Griffin Navy PvP ship and go roll around. That's pretty hilarious. I'm onto that one. Dexter Navy, of course they would. She's a beauty. I actually just lost a VNI and a mid-grade Asclepian pod, I do believe. Not too long ago with this character. That thing had 32 kill marks on it. Yo, that's a pretty nice one. So you have the Harbinger. And then remember you have the Velocity booster as I was showing you before. Then you have the Warp boosters. And then right here, the final one is the Brutix Navy Luminaire skin. Alright, so that's pretty cool. So remember, you guys, all you have to do is get the points. Now, another good tip to let you guys know that if you are going to attempt to set a time trial to do, and read the description down below in that forum link, because it'll teach you everything you need to know. Alright guys, now the final thing you would have to teach yourself about the event is that yes, in EVE Online there are people that take hilarity in the destruction of others. Basically, when you enter the low sec and null sec systems, make sure that when you're warping to a monument that you warp to either an asteroid belt, a planet, or some kind of celestial, a customs office, anything, so that you can get a directional scan of the monument to see if there's actual players there smart bombing. You could also check your local right there and then see if there's anybody flashy in the local, as they would be smart bombing or pirating and killing. I would never suggest warping from the gate that you entered the system into and then warping directly onto the monument at ranges of 0, 30, 50, and 100 kilometers. There seems to be small gang members that take quite a fancy to the destruction of all these new bro capsuleers or anyone attempting to finish the final race days or set times, so you have to be very wary about this when you're taking actions into doing the event. Okay guys, so I use the old map, so another trick you can do like this if you don't have a scout or you can't see the things coming to the next system, a good trick to do is to go like this, and you can open up your map and then you go down to statistics. Now remember, I do use the older version of the map. Even if you're using the newer version, the same effect will still apply. I just find it easier to go like this without the 3D effect and just see it as a grid, so you guys can see when you click last ships destroyed in the last hour, if there's a huge red ball or a nice orange ball or something like that around the area you're in, then you can clearly see that there is somebody in that system blasting some of the runners, so be careful with that. Okay guys, so remember that when it comes to EVE Online, some of these things take quite a long time to do, as some of these races are like 40 minutes if you do the whole thing just ripping. But I'm going to take a moment and take in the monuments and show you guys the new and old monuments of EVE Online that CCP has gifted to players in the game, and factions and corporations and alliances for their magnificent things that they've done, and the destruction and the glory of building empires and all that they've brought to the game, and the incredible sandbox that EVE Online is. With that said, you guys, I'm going to begin my tale of the race with this character, and I hope you all wish me luck along this journey, and let's do it together. Okay, Capsuleers, so we're going to begin our leg of the race, and remember, when you open up the agency, that you just go right here, right click, set destination, which we already have. So we're going to go through and try to make this as fast as possible for you guys, because EVE Online is a very long game, as it doesn't ever end, and some of the things that you do take a significant amount of time. Like this will take about an hour. I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch an hour of it, so we're going to go through it and discuss what it is that we are visiting and check out the monuments in their beauty. So in EVE Online, there's two things to this event. You can either do it for these items right here, or you can do it for the items and then race, which you can get really good rewards, or you can do it for this bar right here and then just casually go and check out the beauty of EVE Online, which what we're going to do. So with that said, let's begin.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so we're here at the second part. Remember to open up your agency and you can see that you've gotten it. Once you've successfully made it to the right location, you can go ahead and claim the reward, as it'll appear right here on the left side of your screen. So let's minimize this right now, and we're going to check out monument number 1. Project Discovery Phase 2 began in July of YC119, following the extremely successful protein classification work of Phase 1 with a new exoplanets hunting program under the guidance of Concord's Chief of Deep Space Research, Professor Michael Mayer. This phase of the project marked the official transfer of the Project Discovery mantle from the Sisters of Eve to the dedicated research division within the Concord Assembly. Project Discovery Phase 2 advanced the search of the new exoplanet significantly in its nearly 3-year operational lifetime, as Capsuleers contributed to the expertise of the analysis of stellar light curves in the search of planetary transits. Project Discovery Phase 2 came to an end on YC11206.15.
A few moments later.
Okay, you guys, so that was the second part. So remember to go right here into the agency and right click set destination and head to the next location, and we'll see you guys there.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so we're here at the next monument. Remember, don't forget the old agency there, so that you can open it up and make sure that you're at the right place. But you can also claim the reward right over here on the top left, which I usually do, so we can close this now. And right now we're going to check out the next monument. Throughout history, humanity has struggled for survival, fortune, and glory. The fight to exceed nature's limits continues, but as often the combat is within and between ourselves. While the need to hunt for food is long behind us, and life itself is a seldom daily struggle for survival, we still crave the fearful rush that comes with the imminence of death. There is both terror and majesty in combat, from the steel swords and wooden shields of ancient conflicts to the hulking masses of kilometers-long spacecraft unleashed firepower to equal that of entire planetary wars. No matter the tool, no matter the arena, all clashes of arms meet and fulfill the same purpose, the need to fight and the determination to win. Kamat Nevrov, Chief Executive Officer, Independent Gaming Commission. Alright, so we're here at the next point, but as you guys can see, it is just a waypoint and not a monument or anything significant, but I will show you guys what high graphics and the beauty of EVE Online does look like. But from here on out, we are not going to show anything other than the beauty of EVE Online and the monuments to kind of speed up this video, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of it. Please do like and subscribe, as this video did take me a little moment to create, and I appreciate you guys all for sticking around. We are almost at that 500 subscriber mark, so please, if you do enjoy my videos, also do hit that notification button, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, enjoy the monuments. Nobody really knows the purpose of the black monolith, but if you look deeply into its center, all you can see is stars. The mysterious shuttle, you can find it orbiting the star in Gezek. The only thing sensors can make out about this ship is that it has some kind of receiver that interacts with the star's natural magnetic field. There is one faint life sign, similar to a human cryogenic stasis. This memorial to fallen Capsuleers is the centerpiece of the cemetery, originally established in orbit of the moon of Malia II by Capsuleers of the Eve Cemetery Corporation. Having been in place for over a decade, and in view of ongoing developments in structure technology, it increasingly became clear that the dedicated memorial structure would enhance the cemetery and help preserve it for decades more. The Upwell Consortium, at the urging of the large number of private citizens and corporations, constructed the new Fallen Capsuleer Memorial in YC-122. The Fallen Capsuleers Memorial continues to support the establishment of individual memorial containers by Capsuleers in the cemetery at Malia 2, Moon 1. The Dorium II Memorial. During his short rule, Emperor Dorium II, formerly Dorian Corazor, was known as a benevolent leader to his people, a peacemaker with the neighboring empires and a stalwart enemy of the vile heretic Blood Raiders. This monument was erected in memory of his reign and service to the Amar Empire by the Kar Azar family. Gravimetrically locked above Amar Prime is the ancient Amarian monument. While scarred and battered by the passage of time, it hangs above the Amar Prime, formerly known as Athra, wreathed in a golden cloud of particles that catch and reflected the sun's rays to create an atmosphere of solemn beauty. A monument to ancient times, it recalls the days of old Athra, the ancestral home of the true Amar. In Amar you can find the Kriba monument. Some know him as a Galliant tools developer, others as a broker of high-value transactions, others still as a passionate Vespar enthusiast. Most know him as the most trusted capsuleer in New Eden, arguably the most famous capsuleer alive. Kariba has been a pillar of the capsuleer community for many years. Installation of Salmoneer, you can find the Traumark installation. This fortress once guarded the southern space territories of the royal Tashmerkan family of Amar. Once thought impregnable, it fell into the hands of Sansa's nation, and all attempts to reclaim it were deflected. A Sansa ship that was destroyed long ago had the following message in its ship logs: return the modules and scrap metal from the Traumark installation to the outpost in EOT-XL. Incoming transmission. Destroy the trespassing vessels and leave no survivor. These are the orders from the Master Sansa himself. The original ship has long since disappeared from the Federation data storage, and only copies will remain. In Sarum Prime, there's a Mechios graveyard. A scattered battlefield of countless ships lies in a silence over the planet of Mechios. This battle of enormous proportions saw a massive Minmatar fleet fight against the Imperial Navy during the Minmatar Elder Fleet invasion. Legend has it that the untold numbers of Minmatar pilots lost their lives in a split second. After then, Ajamo Sarum appeared on the battlefield. She is believed to have used an ancient Terran super weapon to disintegrate the Minmatar fighters to dust. While the Amar believe it was the act of divine intervention, there are still fragments of the Neglyphar-class dreadnoughts and Tempest Apocalypse and Armageddon-class battleships on the field, but all similar ships seemingly had been turned to dust, recently unveiling in the graveyard as a statue in honor of Empress Jamo and her deeds that fateful day. In Langisi, you can find the Sisters of Eve Project Discovery Monument. Anchored around 50 kilometers from the Sisters of Eve Bureau Station at the second moon at Langisi 3, there is the Project Discovery Monument Phase 1. Project Discovery was launched by the Sisters of Eve on the Galnet in YC-118 to serve as a citizen science platform. Led by Professor Emma Lundberg, Phase 1 was centered around mapping the protein atlas from the drifter tissue sampled and was completed after 16 months of incredible dedication and highly successful work. Due to its overwhelming success, 2 further Project Discovery programs were initiated under Concord supervision. In Pator, you can find the Minmatar sculpture. Shortly after the formation of the Minmatar Republic, this sculpture was constructed not far from their homeworld of Matar. The sculpture is named the Eternal Torch and is the symbol of the everlasting passion and resilient spirit of the Minmatar people. In Yamori, you can find the Forlorn of Hope. This Ragnarok-class Titan was converted into a research vessel dedicated to finding the cure for Vitatoxin, any ever-mutating virus that kills slaves should an antidote not be administered regularly. The ship previously housed over 10,000 researchers and scientists, but the facility has largely fallen into disuse, with the work continuing at more modern installations. Some yet cling to their work aboard the old vessel, continuing their life's mission to find the cure for Vitatoxin. In Anur, you can find the Golgothan Fields. The largest space battle of the Minmatar Rebellion took place in the system of Anur. Named the Golgothan Fields, the battle saw the largest force the Minmatar had ever put together fight a returning Amar fleet that intended to sweep through the Minmatar core system and quell the Great Rebellion once and for all. The Minmatar fought fiercely and bravely, with the battle lasting for many long hours. Eventually, the Minmatar needed to retreat and the Amar claimed a victory. However, the Amar fleet took heavy losses, with many of the Imperial largest navy ships destroyed or disabled, reducing their offensive strength. This Pyrrhic victory for the Amar was to lead to eventual Minmatar strategic victory in the Great Rebellion. In Jaconova, you can find the monument to honor the intrepid explorer Marcus Jan. Dedicated to the efforts of the explorer Marcus Jan and those like him during the Echelon Entertainment's Exploration Challenge. This monument contains a captured spatial rift that seems to have engulfed one of Marcus Jan's clones. The monument stands as a celebration to the excitement of the unexplored, but also as a reminder of the perils and danger of discovery. It is said that Marcus Jan was himself conducting some secretive experiments and as such was selected by Echelon Entertainment for this monument to remind explorers that discretion is very much the better part of valor. In Sacio, you can find the journey of Katia Sai. In the unending dark of space, there are few bright lights to which we can reliably turn for guidance and inspiration. Katia Sai is one such beacon, a shining example of what we can all aspire towards. She exemplifies the attitude of true explorer, friendly to all in her travels, neutral and never initiating aggression, and very, very hard to catch. In Pashanai, you can find the Pashanai Monument. Anchored 12 kilometers off the Ministry of War Bureau offices by the 9th moon of the Pashanai 3 is the Pashanai Monument. In YC-112, the Bloody Hands of Matar terrorist organization launched a brutal terror attack against this station, killing thousands of people. These people are now remembered as martyrs that sacrificed their lives for the Holy Amar Empire. This monument was built to honor their memory, stand in defiance of terrorism, and serve as a commitment to bring the wrath of the Amar Empire on any who seek to harm its subjects. In Postuvin, you can find the Kayanaki Memorial Research Site. This keepstar was constructed by the Society of the Conscious Thought and acted as a research facility for the study of the Kayanoki Plague. After a series of outbreaks across the cluster during YC-119, it is considered to be the largest public research installation in New Eden. In April 1C119, it hosted the Kayanoki Inquest to find a cure for the horrific Kayanoki Plague. It received great contributions from the thousands of capsuleers that assisted the scientists in the research of the Kayanoki research site, allowing them to make the breakthrough and find a cure. Today, the Keepstar is maintained as a memorial, with its cutting-edge research labs leased out to biotech companies and academic research groups. In Inakkaman, you can find a solitaire. It is not often that an average capsuleer or spacefarer sees a Titan outside of null security space, other than in parades or special occasions. The solitaire is one of the marvels of discovery that oozes mystery, since it is the Minmatar Ragnarok class Titan that was found destroyed in Kaldari space. The remainder of the hull present is airtight, but everything useful, weapon systems, propulsion, and electronics have been stripped away. Even more curious is that there is no trace of its crew, yet its escape pods are all present. In Issy, you can find the R55 colony ruins. Owned by the Lai Dai Corporation and one of the largest bioresearch facilities in New Eden, all that remains of the R55 colony is the memory of becoming the largest biotech company within the Kaldari state and a ruined structure. According to ancient reports, a large container of multiple types of highly caustic and corrosive materials burst, allowing the chemicals to float and mix freely in the zero-G environment. In time, this formed a highly toxic cloud gas in and around the station.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so that's the end of the Federation Grand Prix. Remember that there is no right or wrong way in designing your interceptor or whatever ship that you choose to use as your fast racer, and remember that you have to complete all of the Federation Day Grand Prix um, event tickets right here, the event tickers, and then once these are all completed, the time trials right here, as you can see, will start so that you can commence your time trial races. Now you guys, I know that a lot of people don't like to do the races is because it's just like jumping and stuff, but it is basically just jumping, and there is 3 racetracks, and I would suggest that you guys get out there and try to set your times, because in the end, the first, second, and third place prizes, if you were to buy the Omega every single month and the skin with cash, you're talking around $250 to $300 for first place, around 200 to 150 for second, and around 100 to 150 for third, depending on the market days of value. So with that said, that's pretty good to be able to do that and gain that with an event. And don't be afraid to get out there and check out the monuments. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video and stuck around, because it did take me quite some time to make this video, and I do apologize for being a little late on releasing it, as I am quite in tuned on releasing all the event videos on the moment they are released. At least I try to. So I appreciate you guys. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.